Do you know that love can change the world?
When I have a worry-filled mind, I like to wander outside. No telling what we might find. Birds calling, worms crawling, leaves falling down from above. Oh, I plant my feet on the ground. I keep my head in the clouds. I let my feelings out loud. I hear joy calling, fear crawling, tears falling down out of love.
Welcome, friends. I'm so glad you're here. If you don't already know, my name is Mrs. A, and I was thinking we can start with an emotions or feelings check-in today. You may have noticed this feelings poster I have up here. It has a bunch of different feelings or emotions that you may experience throughout the day. And while there are many others that are not included on this poster, this captures a whole bunch of different ones that you may have experienced today or you may be experiencing right now. And so I'd like you to take some time to look at the poster and identify the feeling that matches how you're feeling right now. Remember, there are no good or bad feelings. Feelings come and they go. Sometimes they're like the weather. Sometimes we can see different feelings moving in. Other times they're really sudden and we may get surprised by them. And that's okay too. But the more we practice identifying our feelings and noticing our feelings and naming our feelings, the better we can get at welcoming them and spending time with them on their visit. So let's take some time to look at the feelings and find the feeling or feelings that match right now. Did you find your feeling? Oh, great. I found mine as well. I am feeling hopeful. I'm feeling hopeful because we are going to talk about love and how it can change the world. And anytime we talk about love, I feel filled with hope. Hope that more people will get to experience love and more wonderful, good things will happen in our world as we share love. How are you feeling? Thanks for naming those feelings or calling them out. Not only is it helpful to the people around you who may have heard those feelings, but it's also actually really helpful for your own body and your own brain. So great job doing that today. Something that always impacts my feelings or emotions, sometimes in ways that make me feel excited and happy, and other times in ways that make me feel tired or frustrated, is when I exercise. And exercise can be really exciting for some of us or really challenging for others. And sometimes it depends on the day. Like I said, for myself, when I exercise or move my body, I'm often really excited and eager to get started. Sometimes I feel confident because I feel strong, and other times I feel frustrated because things aren't maybe going the way I thought they would. And all of those feelings are okay, and they happen at different times for me, and sometimes I know that they might happen because I feel extra tired, or I don't know that they're going to happen. I think I'm going to be really good at this, and then I end up being not so good yet, and that might make me frustrated. And so exercise is kind of a really cool experiment. It kind of challenges our emotions and our feelings. And it's one of the reasons I like to exercise or offer some exercises when we get to visit together. And you may already know, but I look at the date to help me figure out how many exercises I'm going to do. So you look at the date with me. It's 2/14/22. And do you know what that 2 represents or tells us? The month, yes. The first month was January, and now we're in the second month, February. The 14 tells us how many days we have been in that month so far. And for me today, It's the 14th day of February. Do you know what the third number means? Our year. Wonderful. The year is 2022. And so we shorten that to 22 when we talk about the date. And so we'll need to do 2 exercises, then 14 exercises, and then 22 exercises. And to help us out, I have my friend Fig here. Fig is always showing one of the moves or exercises we'll do. And I can tell that their body is really using all of their different muscles. This arm is bent, this leg is bent, this leg is kind of raised a little, this other arm is straight at their side. A lot of their body parts are involved in this move. Do you have any guesses what move or exercise they're showing us? Well, you can keep thinking on it. We'll check back in with Fig really soon. But to start us off, for our 2 moves today, I thought we could do dance moves. And dance moves are great because you can do them however feels best for you. If you want to do a sitting dance or a standing dance, a quiet dance or a loud dance, however you'd like to dance, we'll dance for the count of 2. But we're not going to say 1, 2. Instead, we're going to practice counting by 2s like we've been doing for a bit. And so we will skip the odd numbers and we'll say the even numbers. So let's get ready to dance for the count of 2. Ready? 2. For our 14 moves, I thought we can use our elbows and our knees and see if we can get them to touch. You can do this sitting or standing as well, whatever feels best for you. But we want to take our right elbow and try to touch it to our left knee, and then our left elbow and try to touch it to our right knee. We'll do this for 14 counts, but again, we will not say the odd numbers. We'll just say the even numbers. So let's practice counting by 2s and doing some elbow to knee touches. Ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Fantastic. And finally, we can check back in with Fig to see what they were showing us. Fig, what should we do 22 of? Oh, marches. Thanks, Fig. That's actually perfect because we're going to be reading some books about marches. And so that is a really great move. Fig, thanks so much. Okay, we're going to do 22 marches. These are best done when standing if you're able. And again, we'll skip all of the odd numbers and only say the even. Ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Fantastic. Thank you, Fig, for that suggestion. And friends, thanks for moving your body with me. Now, anytime I exercise, once I'm finished, I like to take some cool down breaths. Not only does it cool my body after warming up my muscles, but it also helps my heart rest and move back down to a slower, more comfortable pace. So, will you listen for a bell and take some breaths with me? Great. Awesome. Thanks for doing that with me. Today we're going to continue talking a bit about Black History Month and courage. We're also going to sprinkle in some stuff about love. Let's check out our message for the day. If you don't already know, as I'm reading this message, you can be looking for alliterations and onomatopoeias. Alliterations are words that are next to each other or nearby that have the same starting sound or letter. And onomatopoeias are sound words. Words like crash and buzz. So be on the lookout. Dear lovely learners, today is Valentine's Day, a day to share and spread love. Oftentimes we feel love, like when we get a warm hug, see a sweet smile, or notice a cute creature. Aww. But love is a verb. A verb is an action word, and we can all show our love by doing different things. For example, listening to a friend, giving gifts, and communicating kind compliments are all ways we can act lovingly. Today, I want to share some stories about people, grown-ups and kids alike, that have shown their love by taking action and standing up for what is right. These stories, and so many others, show how we can act out of love, even if we're scared or unsure. I think we can all do these things, no matter how old or afraid we are. Love, Mrs. A. Do you notice when people are acting out of love around you? Maybe when your siblings share something that is really special to them. Maybe when someone bakes you your favorite treat. Maybe you have acted out of love before. Maybe you have helped someone when they've been hurt. Maybe you have given a gift to someone that you knew they were really hoping for or needed. And love is an action word, a verb. And we're going to hear about some ways that people have showed their love through their actions by checking out these books. This first one here is by Shane W. Evans, and it is called We March. And maybe you remember when we were working out before, I said, oh, we're going to read books about marching. And marches are ways that people show their love and their hope and their courage. And I just want to open it up to this part first and give you a little background about this story. On August 28, 1963, a remarkable event took place. More than 250,000 people gathered in our nation's capital to participate in the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. The march began at the Washington Monument and ended with a rally at the Lincoln Memorial, where Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his historic I Have a Dream speech, advocating for racial harmony. That means speaking about how he thought all races should be peaceful and in harmony together. Many words have been written about that day, but few so delicate and powerful as these presented here by an award-winning author and illustrator, Shane W. Evans. When combined with his simple yet compelling illustrations, the thrill of the day is brought to life for even the youngest readers to experience. And so I wasn't around during the March on Washington. It was before I was born. And I imagine that is true for you too. Maybe your grown-ups or your great-grandparents were around. But this book really helped me understand a little bit more what it must have felt like and been like. And so we'll start before the march began and hear a little bit about the day. We pray for strength. We work together. See all these people painting signs and making signs. I see hammers and paintbrushes. We want freedom. What do you think's missing? We want freedom. Yeah, the letter M. We come from all over to march. Oh, and there I see the memorial. That's in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. And I love that I see so many buses here. And I heard that 250,000 people participated in this march. That is a lot of people coming together to show their love. It's a lot of people being courageous to go to a place maybe they haven't been before and do something that was really big and different than what they do most days. To march and to tell people that freedom is this way, and people want and deserve to be free and treated equally. So I really love this book. It helps capture what it might have felt like or been like if you were able to be at the March on Washington. You should definitely grab that from your library or bookstore if you're able. This next book is really special to me because it talks about letting children march. And the reason this is so special is because oftentimes I don't think people realize how much power kids can have and how capable you all really are. And so I love this book because it talks about a time in history not long ago when there was something called the Children's Crusade, and a bunch of courageous kids got together and marched. And it is called Let the Children March. It's by Monica Clark Robinson with illustrations by Frank Morrison. We'll read just a few pages together, but this one is a must get. It connects to a person we heard about in that other book, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It says, Dr. King didn't like children being put in harm's way. He was a daddy too, after all. But he said that though we were young, we were not too young to want our freedom. Let the children march. They will lead the way. I don't know about you, friends, but I think kids should be leading us in many, many ways. And I know there are a lot of really courageous kids out there. You're one of them. And I would love for you to stand up and be brave and lead the grown-ups, because sometimes we get lost and confused. And although it's not your job to lead us, you have so many great ideas and so much power that you could change the world. On May 2nd, a sunny Thursday, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends, we all met at the church, dressed in our best, feet ready. In a silence so loud that all I could hear was my racing heart, we began to walk. Hand in hand, we marched, so frightened, yet certain of what was right for freedom. The path may be long and troubled, but I'm going to walk on. I hear that they are feeling afraid. They said so frightened, racing hearts, but they did it anyway. They used courage and were brave. We can all do that. Would I be hurt? Would we be heard? Would it all be worth it in the end? I wanted to run away from the angry faces in the crowd, run from danger, run from fear. Boys and girls, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends. On and on we marched. We marched. We marched. Sing the songs of freedom. 1,000 strong we came. This is a whole march full of kids to fight for their freedom, to stand up for what was right. And people are still having to march today and go out and say, this is not right. This is not fair. This is not safe. And I think the more kids that we can get involved in sharing their voice, in being brave, in marching or writing letters or making art, then the more we can change our world for the better. And this next book is all about kids changing the world. And it's actually written by a young person named Amanda Gorman. And maybe you've heard of Amanda Gorman. She is a poet, and she writes beautifully, using so many different words and rhyming them and putting them together in really magical ways. And she wrote this book, and Lauren Long made the pictures. And it's called Change Sings, a children's anthem. And I love this because although marching is a great way to be brave and make your voice be heard, there are other things we can do as well to show our love, to put love into action and use it as a verb, an action word. And one of those ways is by singing. This is a book you can actually sing. But there's also examples in the pictures or illustrations, and I love how inspiring this is. So hopefully it inspires you too. I am a chant that rises and rings. There is hope where my change sings. What do you notice in this picture that looks like an act of love? Someone is picking up trash, cleaning up their community. Though some don't understand it, those windmills of mysteries, I sing with all the planet and its hills of histories. I love that they are working together. They're showing their love by cleaning up a park and working together or collaborating. I hum with 100 hearts, each of us lifting a hand. I use my strength and my smarts to take a knee to make a stand. What do you see in this page as an act of love? Yeah, sharing, offering food or gift. Beautiful. I also see this friend doing an act of love and helping to carry things so their hands are free. They're both helping to spread love. And friends, if you grab this book from your bookstore, you'll find so many other beautiful examples of love, and also so many beautiful words and rhymes. I really love that book, Change Sings. It's pretty new, so see if you can grab a copy. Last but not least, I'd like us to take a mindful moment together. And today is a breathing activity. And I'd like us to be courageous for this one, because it might be a little uncomfortable at first, or it might remind you of something that makes you feel afraid or uneasy. It's called a rainfall breath. And the reason I chose it is because sometimes when we make sounds or do something that's different than we usually do, we might feel a little worried or confused, like, I don't know if I should be doing this, I maybe sound funny, or someone might think I'm strange. So I want you to be brave if that's what you're thinking. And other times people hear rain or storms and they get nervous or worried that a storm might be really powerful or some way harm them. And so when we do this rainfall breath, I want you to really just focus on your breathing and the sound that we'll make, and just try to be brave and channel your courage as you do. All we'll need to do is close your eyes if you're comfortable, or lower your head. And you're going to breathe in through your nose. And then we'll slowly breathe out through our mouth while making a shh sound, almost like a storm or rainfall. And as we breathe out and make our shh sound, we'll let all the air out of our belly. And then we'll breathe in and do it again. And we'll do this mindful moment activity for 5 breaths. So it's going to take a little while, but I'd like you to give it a try as slowly and as carefully as you can. Are you ready? Last one. Friends, you can open your eyes or look up again. I'm curious to hear, what did you notice about that? What did you notice in your body or any of your senses, or what your brain may have been thinking or doing? Yeah. I noticed a sensation in my mouth as I was making that sound, breathing out. Shh. Oh, you noticed my rainfall. Yeah, I noticed my hands wanted to get involved. I was thinking it must sound really powerful, like a big storm if all of our sounds were in the same room. So I thought that would be cool. Thank you for sharing, and thanks for giving it a try, even if it made you a little very darn uncomfortable at first. What's pretty amazing about mindfulness and breathing activities is anytime we do them, it can help our brain and our body actually feel calmer or more settled. And so if you liked that mindfulness activity, or if you didn't really like it, but you're curious to learn some others, this is a reminder to please like and subscribe. I share a different mindful moment every time we're together. Some of them are breathing activities, some of them are stretching activities or listening activities, and more. So be sure to take a minute to hit that big red subscribe button. And friends, I want to send you off with lots of love today on this Valentine's Day. Here's a hug if you'd like it, and I hope you join me next time. Can't wait to see you then.